When Ethereum and Bitcoin and some of the others are going up, everybody will tell you how smart they feel. But when they go down, no one wants to say a word. With crypto, there's a lot of similarities with the stock market. There's an old saying that I've always had in the stock market that everybody's a genius in a bull market.
Yeah.
Where when stock prices are going up, everybody will tell you what stocks they're buying, right? When stock prices are going down, everybody gets really, really quiet. And it's the same with crypto. When Ethereum and Bitcoin and some of the others are going up, everybody will tell you how smart they feel. But when they go down, no one wants to say a word. And the reality is you have to look for the utility or the value of any investment that you make. You have to say, why are people buying Bitcoin? In reality, Bitcoin, just like an NFT is a digital version of art, we compared it to the Mona Lisa. Bitcoin is a digital version of gold.
Right.
Gold, people say, well, gold has real value as jewelry. Nobody needs gold jewelry.
Well,
People,
I don't know.
People want gold. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, right. Yeah.
No, but I hear you. It's a commodity. Yeah.
Yeah. People like gold jewelry because it keeps a shine, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of reasons to love gold as jewelry, but if gold jewelry went away, the world wouldn't change.
Yeah.
And there's a few manufacturing applications, but gold has value because people assign it value, and those types of investments are called store of value. They're kind of like commodities, like you just said. Bitcoin's the same way. It just happens to be digital. It's limited by an algorithm and how many that's created. So there's a scarcity factor. You can't just create it forever. And because of that, and because it's easy to transfer, it's easy in some cases to use for cross-border payments between people in different countries. So there's some utility, but mostly people buy Bitcoin and own Bitcoin like I do because other people own Bitcoin, just like people buy gold. Now you hear a lot of stories. Bitcoin is a hedge to inflation. Gold is a hedge to inflation. It's not. It's not. We're having a lot of inflation right now. Bitcoin ain't going up. We're having a lot of inflation right now. Gold ain't going up. They've bounced around pretty much where they are. And so you've got to understand, if you're buying Bitcoin, it's a store value. And like any store of value, gold or otherwise, the price is based on supply and demand. When more people are selling than buying, it goes down. When more people are buying than selling, it goes up. And again, that's not a whole lot different than the stock market either. Tech stocks have gotten crushed worse than Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, Ethereum's a little bit different, right? Ethereum has some level of utility where you can use it for transactions. Most NFTs are bought and sold using Ethereum. So in order to buy a Bored Ape for 100 Ethereum, you have to go buy that Ethereum. And so the more demand there is for Bored Apes or the Ape coin or whatever that's based on Ethereum, the more value Ethereum, the token, is going to have. And so when I look at any of my crypto investments, that's the first question I have. What is the core utility of it? What value does it serve? And so that's why I own more Ethereum than I do Bitcoin. Now, that said, again, when all tokens like stocks have some level of speculators in it, right? People who aren't long-term investors, they just want to buy because they think it's going up. And so when a market loses those speculators, and we're losing a lot of them now because interest rates are going up. Yeah. Because if when you had your choice of putting your hard-earned dollars in the bank and earning 0.1% interest, you're probably going to speculate more. But now that interest rates are going up, people are speculating less. Yep. And you can't borrow money to speculate as inexpensively, so they speculate even less. And as a result, stock prices are going down. I own Amazon, I own Netflix. Those prices have gone down more than my Bitcoin and my Ethereum have gone down. Utility but that's just the way it goes. And so, at this point in time, what I'm doing is looking to see, is there anything there that's gotten so cheap that it's time to really take a strong look at starting to buy some. And I've dabbled, when Ethereum gets down under let's say $1,800, I'll buy a little bit. When Bitcoin gets down under 28,000, I'll buy just a little bit. because it's really hard to predict how low it's going to go. So I haven't gone all in yet.
But apart from, you're making analogies to the stock market, what are specific considerations that traditional investors should take when going into the Web3 NFT Ethereum game?
Don't do it. Number one, don't do it because someone told you it's hot, it's cool, it's the next big thing. That never works, right? Do it because you see a fundamental reason for it. Back in the day, people, when Starbucks was just getting started, people say, well, buy Starbucks. And I'm like, why? Like, because everybody I know is going to Starbucks for their coffee, right? Mm-hmm. That's a good reason to buy stock in a company. And it's the same thing with crypto. It's not because everybody's buying the crypto, it's because they're using it for something that creates value. Like I've invested in a crypto token called Klima, Klima. And it's a DAO that buys carbon credits that I can then use for my business to burn them. Yeah. Now, the good news is there's a utility there. So I can say I'm offsetting my carbon footprint by buying them and burning them. And that creates value. The bad news is it's down like 99% because a lot fewer people are doing it. So even though in this particular case it served a real purpose by allowing me to, burn carbon credits and offset my carbon footprint, not enough people are doing it. So the value still can go down. But I haven't sold any of mine because I think if it does, and it's still a big if, I'd say the odds are against it. But if it does catch on and people start realizing that, hey, the environment's important to me, and I want to offset the 20 tons of carbon that I create a year. This is, I think, one of the easiest ways to do it. So anybody, as more people become more confident and comfortable with crypto, buying, Klima DAO token for $5, whatever, is a cheap way to do it. Or buying, some of the other tokens that are affiliated with carbon. It's a cheap way to do it and burn it, which I think, adds value to the token. So that's an example of utility.